Last but not least, Abdulaziz Tarabzoni, who is a policy and communication consultant. Abdulaziz, let me start from the end and start with you, please. Give us your experience from your own experience, the youth that are graduating from King Abdullah Scholarship Program. They come back to the country. There's about 6,000 of them a year. What's foremost on their mind when they come back? What do they want to do now that they have a good level of education?
Well, let me start by thanking you for having us on this very important panel. The graduates of the King Abdullah Scholarship Program, just like the majority of the young Saudi population, 60%, need to feel like they are part of this economy and part of this society. They want to be believed in. What's happening now is some people graduating from top schools in the US, 6,000 people a year probably, they come back to the country and they find sometimes difficulties joining the market and applying the necessary and the needed skills and tools to improve the economy. They have learned a lot. Some of them left this country speaking one language, and they came back with high degrees, being more creative and being bilingual, but yet they come back and they face challenges that limit them from creating their own companies. I'll tell you, the most important factor is the rhetoric surrounding this conversation, and there has to be closure to this. Is it a problem of mindset, or is it a real problem in the economy? The answer is clear, it's a problem. There is nothing with the mindset of the Saudi people. We have, Arabs in general, in this region, have been living here for decades and centuries. Being born here is a challenge. Our grandfathers used to work at the age of 11 and 12. They were not entrepreneurs in today's definition, but indeed they had the tools, they excelled, they did well, and today we're a continuation of that generation. So when they come back to the country and they just keep getting this rhetoric that it's about the mindset and everything else is fine, it's quite depressing because there are real legal challenges. I'll tell you an example.
They have to fall into a stereotype? Is that what you're saying?
It's a stereotype. And unfortunately, it's not, it's ignoring some very important realities. For example, I was talking with a Saudi entrepreneur yesterday. I didn't ask him to say his name, I'm not, but he is a very successful entrepreneur. He's telling me that he wanted to apply for a government contract. He has an SME, a very small company. He was requested to provide cash as a bid bond for some project. Those are things that are limiting young Saudis from actually competing in the market. Okay. You have to have an exception for entrepreneurs. You have to have it. Okay. And only by doing that will you allow them to compete, and you will gain the benefits of them being abroad and coming back. Or else they will just go back in the system, just keep doing what their elders were doing, and the change will be very limited.
Okay, so you want the system to adopt these new young minds, fresh minds. You want them to come in and be given the opportunity and the exceptions to make it. What about mentorship? What is the role of mentorship? Maybe Abdulaziz, you'd like to comment on that.
And I think what's most important here is to just guide the resources that we have, this huge population of youth. How do we utilize that? There are very few sessions that we see, for example, saying that we have half the world's oil, so what do we do about it? You just utilize it. And how do you utilize young people? You set a national goal. This is what we need. We need something that all people marshal around. We need our moonshot, the Kennedy moment where he said we're going to go to the moon in 10 years. Right. That was a moment that inspired everyone because it was a very ambitious target. It was measurable, and it had the capacity of just allowing everyone to participate. Now you have a population that is eager to give more. This is what we complain about all the time, that we need to do more. So we need to be guided in that direction. And I must say, the political side of this, our young people are entrepreneurial in spirit, they're risk takers, they're willing to be very adventurous. Now, who's capitalizing on that? Unfortunately, the very extremists are. They are investing more energy and more time and even يعني, reaching out to those young people in their own platforms than the moderates. And what is happening now, you find people, unfortunately, with high degrees all over the Arab world, from Syria, Iraq, Egypt, even, unfortunately, from this country, that were misguided because they have the tools, they have the skills, and they are risk takers by nature. So just call them in. A call of action by the leadership, the very highest levels of leadership in the region, saying that, for example, we need to decrease the dependency on oil by this much in this time frame. And everyone has to be on board. There is no choice other than that. This call of leadership should be then translated to government policies, to laws and regulations, and then to even majors that students go and study in universities, and only by doing that will we be able to participate. I'll say one more point about education, because education, what we heard Prince Khalid al-Faisal say, the necessity not only to enable the next generation of scientists and engineers, but more importantly, the focus on national values. Because we have to admit and understand that the sense of national unity, those values that are the foundation of this country, are the first and second and third and last line of defense that we should build. Only by empowering those young people, the next generation, making them understand the progress that we made and realize what we can do forward and utilize those values, will we be able to defend ourselves from any economic threat, oil prices, external threats, you name it, only by building this strong population. And never underestimate the power that a very small group of young people can do, because indeed they're the ones that are capable to lead forward.
These are very powerful comments, and I think so, yeah. Powerful comments and a powerful call for action. I'll come to you.